idea so many parents would show up. The questioning went on for 40 minutes. The panel said they needed to review the documentation and deliberate privately. They would issue a written decision within 1 week. Sophie gathered her materials and left the building feeling completely drained. The waiting felt worse than the hearing itself, because now her academic record hung in limbo while bureaucrats decided her fate. That same week, some parents started drafting recall petition language targeting Miss Blade and the board members who supported her. The language was harsh and accusatory. Sophie's grandmother heard about it through her board connections and called an emergency meeting at her house Tuesday night. About 15 parents showed up in her living room. The grandmother explained that recall petitions required thousands of signatures and months of work. She argued they should wait for the board vote on Thursday and use the recall threat as leverage only if the board refused to act. She said premature recall efforts would make the board defensive and less likely to vote for accountability. Her experience with local politics carried weight. Most parents agreed to hold off on the recall petition for now. They would focus their energy on showing up for the board meeting and delivering powerful testimony instead. The grandmother made everyone promise not to file any petitions until after Thursday's vote. People left her house frustrated but willing to follow her strategic guidance. Wednesday night, I stood in my bathroom practicing my board meeting speech in front of the mirror. I had written out talking points on index cards with specific dates and facts. September 18th, when Midge collapsed in chemistry. September 19th, when Miss Blade sent the confiscation email. September 25th, when the fire marshal issued citations. October 2nd, when the judge granted Jason's medical accommodation order. I timed myself speaking and kept going over 3 minutes. I edited out the parts where I called Miss Blade's actions cruel and focused on documented outcomes instead. My hands shook as I held the index cards. I practiced making eye contact with my reflection. I rewrote the ending 3 times, trying to sound clear instead of angry. My mom knocked on the bathroom door asking if I was okay. I told her I was fine and kept practicing. I knew if I could just get through 3 minutes of factual testimony without my voice cracking, I would have done everything possible to make our case. I practiced until my throat felt dry, and the words stopped sounding like real language. Thursday evening, the district office parking lot was already full when we arrived at 6:30. Cars lined both sides of the street. People walked toward the building in groups carrying signs and folders. The boardroom had maybe 80 chairs, but over 200 people showed up. Families packed the hallway outside with kids sitting on the floor. Security opened the overflow area in an adjacent room with a video feed. The board members filed in looking nervous. Philip Gordon, the board president, called the meeting to order and explained the public comment rules. 3 minutes per speaker. Stay on topic. No personal attacks. The sign-up sheet had 47 names. I was number 12. My stomach felt tight as I waited for my turn. When Philip called my name, I walked to the podium with my index cards. I stated my name and grade for the record. Then I went through the specific dates when students collapsed and the documented health impacts. I mentioned the confiscation email and read the exact quote about actions having consequences. I cited the medical accommodation order and the fire marshal citations. I explained that collective punishment created measurable harm to students with medical